Well, I want to tell you about the first time I made an adult act of faith. The first time I really experienced what it means to have faith in a kind of adult way. I was 15 years old. It's probably one of the real significant experiences of my life. Growing up, I would go to church with my family and that kind of thing. And I remember being sort of vaguely fascinated with the idea of God and the things I saw and heard at church. It was probably a kind of dormant faith. It all kind of happened for me for the first time when I was 15. I think my mom said to me, all right, look, you gotta go to confirmation classes, get confirmed, and after that you can do whatever you want. I don't know if she meant that. I think maybe she tricked me. Anyway, so I go to these confirmation classes. I remember thinking, okay, this is interesting enough. I liked the pizza, I liked seeing my friends there. But at the same time, even for how interesting it was, I still thought, this is still kind of like not a real high priority for me. It was like 45th on my list of sort of priorities in my life. So anyway, we go on this retreat. It was in Jerome, Arizona, just a few weeks before being confirmed. There was a group of young adults, and at the end of the night, they said, hey, do you want us to pray over you? And I said, what is that? And they said, we're just going to pray that God comes to you or the Holy Spirit comes to you. Is that okay? And I said, kind of blankly, yeah, that's fine. So they kind of put their hands over me and start praying, saying some prayers. I'm not even sure what they were praying exactly. Some prayers about the Holy Spirit coming or something. And pretty quickly and very gently, I sensed this kind of interior peace, like a warmth. It was like experiencing a kind of presence or this experience of not being alone in my own interiority. And there were just this deep kind of peace and these waves of love kind of washing over me. Even though my eyes were closed, I still remember sort of seeing these colors. Anyway, I know it sounds probably a little strange or weird. That's what I experienced. It wasn't like being invaded by, an alien or the Body Snatchers or something. Remember that movie? It wasn't like being possessed or something. In fact, I felt totally in that experience, I felt completely free. I felt like at any moment I can just walk up and just kind of go about my normal life. But it was like this experience of being in God's presence or being loved, this incredible sense of peace like I'd never experienced before. So anyway, after about 30 minutes of that, I kind of stand up and, it's filled with this, deep emotion. Pretty quickly, that emotion starts to wear off. And I remember I went outside into the night air, kind of overlooking this valley up there in Jerome, Arizona. And I instinctively said, it's all true. Everything I've learned about God, it's all true. It was just kind of like this internal assent where I said, God, I trust you and I believe you. Kind of all in this one beautiful moment. So anyway, the next day I wake up and went, back to where I lived, and next day I'm back in school, and the emotions of that experience faded pretty quickly. But there was something that was different in me. It was like this relationship had been established between me and God. No matter what happened from that day forward, I had this kind of certainty that God was with me, that He's real, He's true, that He's present to me, He's present to all things, and that I had been invited in an adult way to make a kind of yes or an assent of faith to Him. And it changed me completely. I did not know at that stage that I would be a priest. It was probably the farthest thing from my mind at that stage. But I still had this conviction that was like born all at once that my life is going to be about God. It was a grace, I realized that it's unique to me in the details, but that's what I experienced, and I thank God for it. And that is the first time I think that I made an adult act of faith.